Hello, I'm Tim Wiseman from Ocampo Wiseman Law. Today we will be discussing whether you can trust AI with legal questions. As always, nothing in this video is legal advice. It is my personal opinion. And in this case, it is my personal opinion on an evolving technology and about situations that change rapidly. So for background, in very simplified terms, generative AI is AI which generates new media. Normally it does that in response to a prompt. There are many examples that are currently available. Images are generated by AI, including Stable Diffusion. Music can be generated by AI, such as MusicLM. Today we're going to be focusing on text-based generative AI, such as Bard from Google or ChatGPT from OpenAI. Both of those last two are based on large language models. To again oversimplify, a large language model is a neural network usually trained on unlabeled text, which can develop emergent abilities. It often produces responses to prompts. So with the background out of the way, the direct question is, can generative AI reliably answer legal questions? My personal opinion is that no, it cannot, at least not right now. Chatbots have a tendency of confidently making up false information with no warning that they're doing so and presenting it as though it were true. This process is sometimes called hallucinating. Now, to be fair, some of the better chatbots on the market will often give correct answers to legal questions if you ask them directly. However, they do not do so reliably. Here are a couple of examples of conversations I've had with AI chatbots where the chatbot very confidently provided me with false historical answers. For instance, when I asked about the Washington Reynolds affair, it confidently told me that it started in the summer of 1791 and continued for several months. This affair, of course, did not happen. Very famously, Alexander Hamilton had an affair with Reynolds, though that did start in 1791. Continuing on the theme of Alexander Hamilton, I asked the AI, why did Aaron Burr shoot Charles Dickinson? The AI provided me a detailed explanation which has no basis in reality. Aaron Burr very famously had a duel with Alexander Hamilton. There is no recorded duel between Aaron Burr and Charles Dickinson. Now, Charles Dickinson, the American lawyer, not the American author, was a renowned duelist and was involved in several duels, most famously one with Andrew Jackson before Andrew Jackson became president. Now, it would be quite fair to point out that I was blatantly baiting the AI. I was using why and when questions and deliberately incorporating false information into my question itself, and the AI responded. However, I wasn't trying that hard to bait it. These are the type of questions that a slightly confused school child might actually ask in good faith. And it's also fair to point out that I clearly cherry-picked my examples. I didn't use examples where the AI gave me the right answer, and there were times when I was playing with it where I would use those techniques, a when or why question with deliberately false information incorporated, and it would come back and correctly tell me that I was wrong, and then provide a decent answer. But the fact is that it did not do that reliably, as you can see. When I directly asked the AI if it could provide legal advice, as you can see, it told me it could not. However, if you directly asked it a legal question, or at least when I directly asked it a legal question, it gave me answers. Here's an example of asking an AI a legal question. Now, you may notice from the formatting that this is a different AI than the one I drew the previous examples from, but you get similar responses from all of the ones I've personally tested so far, which admittedly is a small sample. Now, here the answer is wrong, but in very strange ways. I asked it, in Clark County, Nevada, would a dispute with a potential value of $39,000 be required to go to arbitration? And it starts with a blatant no. That is not correct at all. In fact, weirdly, it very correctly states that cases with a value of less than $50,000 are presumptively assigned to arbitration in Clark County, Nevada. So in general, the answer would be probably yes. A case like that would probably go to arbitration, but there are other factors that an attorney might look at. Is there some issue of public policy where you would want it to go in front of a judge instead of the arbitrator? Are you, in addition to monetary damages, asking for equitable relief? And there are other factors. We're not going to get into all of them here. But the point is that directly providing no is definitely not the right answer. And that's exactly what this AI did. Now, the examples we've looked at so far were created partially for this video and partially just because I was curious about chatbot AI, and I've been playing around with them a fair bit. But there have been attempts to seriously use AI for legal research. Not all of them have gone well. There was a somewhat prominent case recently where Judge Castle sanctioned 2 attorneys for improper use of AI because they provided citations to cases that did not exist. In other words, the AI hallucinated the cases. Now, as you can see from this quote from a much longer opinion, the judge directly states that it's appropriate to use new technologies in legal research. This applies to lawyers as well as laymen. However, any new technology, and in fact just about any tool used for legal research should always be approached with caution, and preferably with someone with the background and ability to be able to double check and verify. This applies not just to technology, but to law clerks, junior associates. Lawyers in particular have a duty to supervise and review. And obviously that duty does not apply to laymen, but a non-lawyer trying to use AI for legal advice may wind up getting information that is simply false, with no indication that there's reason to be suspicious of it. So in conclusion, it is my opinion that AIs cannot yet reliably provide legal information. This is just my opinion, but I would not recommend any non-lawyer try to use an AI for legal advice or legal information at all. And a lawyer or someone with similar qualifications, in my opinion, should only use AI as a starting point for legal research and should very carefully vet and verify everything that it says. It is not something that I think you can presently rely on to simply draft documents for you. That might possibly change in the future, but for the moment, it should be approached with caution, in my opinion. Thank you.